It is now a must for every 2016 elections to be registered with biometrics, or they won't be allowed to vote in the 2016 elections. To ensure that every voter is validated, the COMELEC has signed a number of agreements with the major shopping malls in the country to ensure that registration is easier and faster. Joining us tonight here on NewsLife is spokesperson of the COMELEC, Atty. James Jimenez. Good evening, sir, and welcome to NewsLife.
Good evening.
Sir, before we begin, let's clarify the issue on the lost biometrics.
All right. What about it? Okay. Kidding. All right. Earlier last week, news came out that the COMELEC supposedly lost about 1.9 million biometrics data. That was not true. Okay, that was probably an unfortunate miscommunication. See, when you gather biometrics from voters, the data resides primarily in the computer at the election office. It is backed up on a daily basis, and from those two sources, you send a third copy, which is a CD, to the central office. It's the CD that was corrupted.
Okay.
So what you have really was a corrupted third copy, which meant that the originals remained intact and were therefore not lost.
Oh, okay. That's good to clarify, because some of the people might be worried about that.
Oh, I'm sure they were.
Now we are hearing that you have established a partnership with several malls to make the registration easier.
Yes. We're actually in partnership with Robinson's Malls. That was the first one we partnered. And then Ayala, and then of course SM Supermalls. And just this past weekend, we had a massive satellite registration in both Glorieta and both Ayala and SM malls.
And how long will this run for?
We plan to keep holding these satellite registrations until the end of the period, so September, October. But it won't be every day. Okay. Mostly it will be on weekends and on several days in a week. But I think it's doing a great job, even just by judging from last weekend's turnout. Last weekend we had about more than 5,000 people coming in to register and to validate. And considering that we're catching up on a lot of people who need validation, that was a very, very good development. And we expect to continue it and expand it even further. One of the things that we noticed throughout the weekend was that a lot of people were asking why there weren't similar satellite registrations in the provinces. Well, not yet. The primary goal really is to establish it here in NCR, because this is where the problem is worst. No? But eventually we will hold satellite registration in the provinces as well.
What is the process like? Do you just, for example, if you pass by a kiosk in the mall, can you just drop by and fall in line and do your registration or validation?
Absolutely. And in fact, a lot of the people who pass by our kiosks, they don't actually end up going to the registration process. Some of them even just go there just to check, do I have biometrics or not? And we give that assistance to them. But it is very simple, and once you get to the election officer or to the COMELEC clerk, then you're done in about 15 minutes.
What is the current target of COMELEC in terms of voters registration?
In terms of voter registration, we expect to see about 54 million by 2016. The hard target really is the biometrics. That's the thing that we're working towards. Right now, there are about 4.3 million individuals without biometrics. Hopefully, that's gone down significantly since those were April figures. But well, we're still hovering in that region.
What will be the next step of COMELEC apart from the shopping malls? Do you intend to schools or universities and even government offices?
We have been actually conducting satellite registrations in various places. We've been conducting it in schools. We've been conducting it in barangays, etc. It's just that the mall, I guess, is the most got the most attention, precisely because it is also the most accessible. Also, it doesn't cater just to that small group like you would in a school, for instance, where you're just talking to the students. It caters a wider audience. So we're going to do more of that.
Currently, do we have a specific age group that we're targeting to really register and go out there? I mean,
well,
for example,
18 and above. All right. 18 and above. When we talk about age brackets, really what we're talking about are people who don't have biometrics, because those are the people who are about, I don't know, early 30s up because these are the people who registered as voters before there was a biometrics project. The biometrics project started in earnest around 2003, 2004. So everyone who registered before that, including I think you and I, we're part of the demographic.
Okay.
All right. So these are the people that we're targeting for validation.
How about with people with disabilities? Are they entitled to go to these different satellite offices to register?
Absolutely. Every time the COMELEC opens up a registration center, whether or not it's in the office in the COMELEC or in a satellite, we have priority lanes for persons with disabilities, for senior citizens, and for heavily pregnant women.
The COMELEC has been stressing the importance of registering for the biometrics for this coming election. Why is it so important for everyone to go out and register this time?
Well, we think it's very necessary to be part of the democracy that you're living in. And of course, obviously, you can't vote unless you're registered. And even if you're registered, if you don't have biometrics, you still can't vote, which is why our slogan is no bio, no voto, right? No biometrics, no vote.
So do you think that the biometric system will clean or weed out the electoral...
Absolutely. The biometric system, what it does is it ensures that every person has only one record in the database, and if you only have one record in the database, then you can only vote once. So basically, it's the end of flying voters, and that's a goal really worth working towards.
Sir, you've mentioned earlier that a lot of voters already registered since 2003. For example, there might be some voters out there who already transferred precincts. Yes. What is the process for individuals like?
Well, if you've transferred residences, all you need to do is go to the COMELEC office or to the satellite office and say that you want to transfer your registration. You'll be given a form. It'll say transfer of registration across the top, and you just fill that in. A lot of people are under the notion that if you transfer to a different place, you have to register as a new voter. Please don't. That would be against the law. You will be advised to file a transfer of registration instead.
And finally, sir, what are the next steps of COMELEC after the malls and after reaching areas for our voters to really register for the biometrics?
After that, the registration period ends in October 31, 2015.
No more extensions?
No more extensions for now. Oh, at least now there are no extensions. And after that, we go full blast with voter education for the elections in 2016.
And on that note, thank you very much, Attorney James Jimenez, the spokesperson of the COMELEC.